After covering 20 Easter eggs in Dying Light, I had tons of requests to cover the game's expansion, The Following. And seeing as I never actually got around to completing The Following when I played on the Xbox One, I decided now would be a good time as any to finish the DLC on Steam and try to find as many Easter eggs as I could. So today I bring you 20 Easter eggs, secrets and references in Dying Light The Following. Now I've done my best to include every Easter egg I could think of, but as always there's a chance I may have forgotten something, and if you think I have, the best place to let me know is on Instagram or Twitter. The links to both will be in the description and in my pinned comment. Anyway, without further delay, let's get started. So to start things off, let's take a look at some of the movie references found in the expansion, and there are quite a few of them. At this location on the map, after clearing out all of the zombies, you can find a man who says this.
I did not hit him, it's not true, it's bullshit. I did not hit him, I did not. Oh, hi, Crane.
So that strange sentence was a reference to the greatest film of all time, The Room, and this scene in particular.
Hit her. It's not true. It's bullshit. I did not hit her. I did not. Oh, hi, Mark.
Oh, hey, Jim.
This next Easter egg should be familiar to anyone who's been watching the Goat Simulator Easter egg videos I make with my daughter. At this location on the map, you can find this. So this area is a reference to the Tom Hanks film Castaway. The volleyball with the blood splatter on it is a nod to Wilson, a volleyball in the film that is Hanks' only companion. As I said, you may have seen this reference a few times in the Goat Simulator videos, except the ball is named Goatsum because of course it is. Next up is an Easter egg that seems to appear in a lot of games in some form or another. At this location on the map, you can find this. So this skeleton with its whip and hat are a reference to Indiana Jones. As I said, off the top of my head I can name Far Cry 4 and Far Cry New Dawn, Zombie Army Trilogy and Fallout New Vegas as games that reference Indy. Granted, most games choose to place a skeleton in the fridge as a nod to the famous scene from Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, but still he's referenced quite a lot. The next movie reference can be found at this location on the map, and it seems we missed quite a party. So this scene of dead people and abandoned trucks is a reference to this scene from the 2008 movie No Country for Old Men. This next clip is a couple of Easter eggs in one. At this location you can find an abandoned blue house. If you check the cupboard under the stairs you can find this. So a broomstick, a wizard's hat and a pair of glasses. You know who else rides a broomstick, wears a wizard hat and needs glasses? That's right, it's Big Bird from Sesame Street. No, of course not, these are all references to the boy that lived, Harry Potter. Also in the cupboard you can find a small skull on a shelf. Interact with it until the skull falls to one side. Yep, not only do you have to deal with zombies and virals, but there's even ghosts after you now. If you head upstairs, window shutters will slam shut and you'll be attacked by a second ghost. Now, I'm not sure if there's a story to this location. After dealing with the ghost, you can find a woman dead in a bathtub, but I mean there's a zombie outbreak, there's dead people everywhere. But if you have any theories on the house, then be sure to let me know. The final movie reference can be found at this location. Inside of a locked warehouse you can find a car which bears a striking resemblance to the one seen in Mad Max. If you look under the car you can flip a switch which will unlock it, allowing you to grab some ammo and a shotgun. So that just about does it for the movie references in the following, though I did want to highlight one of these special infected you can find. This big fella wields a giant hammer and is named Thor. You know who else wields a giant hammer? Okay, I'm not doing that again, but this is a not so subtle nod to everyone's favourite Asgardian, Thor. And before you claim Loki is your favourite Asgardian, he isn't actually Asgardian, so there. Right, now we can get into the really good Easter eggs. At this location on the map, you can find these two small ditches. Why not use some explosives to try and find out what was buried here? So first things first, I actually don't know what this Charlie DVD is, or what it's supposed to be referencing. The idea of burying loads of an unwanted product in a hole somewhere is perhaps most famously associated with the Atari version of E.T. The game was so bad that all of the unsold copies of the game were chucked in a hole in New Mexico. Luckily for us, DVDs aren't the only thing hiding in this hole. You can also find a mysterious blueprint, and no, I'm not trying to be vague, it's literally called the Mysterious Blueprint. The blueprint is surprisingly cheap to craft, requiring just the 1 electronics, 1 power cable and 10 metal parts. And what do you get for your troubles? Allow me to demonstrate. That's right, a cardboard chicken on a stick. Now you may laugh at its unassuming appearance, but this little guy packs quite a punch. So in the first Dying Light Easter egg video, we found Dawood's son in the sewers holding what appeared to be Link's Master Sword from the Zelda series. Loads of you mentioned that in the following you could actually craft the sword, so off I went to check if you guys were right, and of course you were. To find the blueprint for the sword, you'll need to head to this location and bring your swimming trunks. Oh, and the hacking device you get from Tolga and Fatine as well. In a crate under the sea, you can find the blueprint for something called the Twilight Phantom. Head back to shore and dry yourself off before checking out the blueprint. It requires 5 power cables, 5 fluorescent mushrooms, 5 alcohol and 10 metal parts to craft. The sword itself is okay, but not great, usually requiring a couple of swings to take down a viral. Still, if looks could kill, this thing would be deadly. Speaking of Tolga and Fatine, it's time to check out Tolga's Folly. As was the case with the Twilight Phantom, you'll need to head to this location with the hacking device. Open the box to find the blueprint for Tolga's Folly. Now, this really isn't cheap to craft, requiring 10 electronics, 10 batteries and 10 power cables. And I know what you're thinking, all of that for a button? I can't even hit a zombie with it. Well, press the button and find out what it does. So it takes you to random places on the map, and in my experience at least, most of these places are story related, so it's almost like a fast travel tool, though it does require a cooldown after each use. One of the more interesting places it takes you to is here. So this room contains what appears to be dead Techland employees and giant hamster wheels. The wheels were actually seen in the video where zombies were shown running on them to create power for Haran. The video was in response to a fan of the game who questioned how the game's power system worked. Let's take a moment to appreciate Techland for taking the time to create a video to respond to a fan. Great stuff. A much smaller Easter egg now, but one that ties into our last Dying Light video. During the Going Postal side quest, you have to enter a mail room. Inside the room you can find this box. So this package was from the Left for Bread bakery, a bakery we actually covered in the last video, which is obviously a reference to Valve's Left 4 Dead. You can also find a box from Techland being sent to A. Sakura. Adrian Sakura is the lead level designer at Techland. The next Easter egg is one of my favourites, just because I would wager that a lot of people wouldn't know it was there. At this location on the map, you can find a small island with 2 zombies on it. So these guys are an obvious reference to the legendary tale of the much smaller David beating the larger Goliath in combat. This next Easter egg is a very subtle nod to the TV show Parks and Recreation. At one of your safe zones you can find this. So the slogan on the van reads, "Stuffed turtle food and stuff, the best place to buy all your food and most of your stuff." This is a reference to the food and stuff store from the Eggcellent Parks and Recreation.
I love food and stuff. It's where I buy all of my food. And most of my stuff.
Onto a pretty strange Easter egg now. At this location on the map you can find this. So this world's best dad thing is actually a callback to the world's best mum also thing you could find in the main Dying Light campaign. Moving on to one of my favourite video game weapons of all time now. At this location on the map you can find the blueprint for Origami 101. This blueprint requires 10 fluorescent shrooms, 10 metal parts and 10 herbs, and creates one of the best weapons in the game. A paper aeroplane. Okay, so it seems underwhelming at first, but once you let this baby go there's no stopping it. Up next is the second best Easter egg in the expansion. First you'll need to find 3 items. Those items are the nuclear codes, which can be found here on the map. The military transport key, which can be found here, and be quick about this one, the behemoth likes to blow things up. And the final item is the military activation card, which can be found here. After you have the 3 items, take them to this location.
Emergency lock override accepted. Preparation of nuclear warheads in progress. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
So if setting off a nuke is the second best Easter egg in the game, what on earth is the best? How about alien abduction? Throughout the map you can find 15 unknown stones. You must find them all without dying, it seems, as in my experience when I died these stones reset. I'll leave a link in the description for a full guide on finding the stones and where to take them, so if you want to try this for yourself then check that out. So after you have all the stones, take them to this location on your map and make sure it's after 10 PM. You can check the time by opening your map. Place all the stones down and after placing the final stone, this will happen.
Hello, mister. Wow, hello. What you got inside? Yes, hello. Doctor.
So you were abducted by aliens and forced to watch a cardboard chicken on a stick show. Hey, there's worse things that could have happened. That's not all though. You also get the uranophobic, fabaceous ornithomancer. Try saying that fast 5 times, or in my case, just the once is a pain in the arse. The gun shoots jetpacks that attach themselves to zombies, which is as epic as it sounds. So that's it. That's 20 Easter eggs, secrets or references in the following DLC for Dying Light. If you enjoyed this video, then a like is really appreciated. If you're a fan of Easter eggs and secrets in video games, then perhaps consider subscribing, as that's what this channel is all about. Thank you all very much for watching, and I'll speak to you all soon.